While I was bleeding out in surgery, my parents were clinking glasses at my sister's gala, laughing that I was too dramatic. I survived, but I erased them from my world. They finally understood when their crisis came. And I didn't answer the phone. It was a regular Tuesday, or so I thought. I was hunched over my desk, ignoring the sharp pain slicing through my abdomen. My assistant Sarah kept hovering, her voice laced with worry. "Peyton, you look like hell. That's not food poisoning. You need urgent care." I brushed her off with a weak wave, muttering, "Just 10 more minutes." I was too busy saving my dad's sinking company again. Always the fixer, always the one cleaning up the low family messes, my mom's meltdowns, my sister Jade's endless dramas, my dad's financial flops. I was the glue holding it all together. Those 10 minutes, they almost killed me. By the time I stumbled into urgent care, my vision was blurring, my legs barely holding me up. The doctor took one look and called an ambulance. "Internal bleeding," he said, his voice sharp. "Possible ruptured cyst." I fumbled with my phone, trying to reach my family. Mom's line went to voicemail. Dad didn't pick up. Jade answered on the fourth ring, her voice dripping with irritation. "Peyton, I can't talk right now." The gala's in 2 hours, and the caterer screwed up the Jade. I cut in, pain stealing my breath. I'm in an ambulance. They think something's ruptured. Oh my God, seriously? Tonight of all nights? You know this is my moment. I'm getting the Young Humanitarian Award. The paramedic snatched my phone as my eyes rolled back. The last thing I heard was Jade's voice, sharp and dismissive. "Just handle it yourself for once, okay? I've got to go." I woke to the sterile beep of hospital monitors, fluorescent lights burning my eyes. A nurse named Rowan adjusted my IV, her smile soft but strained. "Welcome back," she said. "You gave us a scare." My throat was sandpaper, my body hollowed out. "My family?" I croaked. Rowan's smile faltered. "We called all your emergency contacts when you went into surgery. Left messages. How long was I out?" "Surgery took 4 hours. You've been out about 6. My phone sat on the bedside table. No missed calls, no texts, just one Instagram notification. With trembling fingers, I opened it. There they were. Mom in her designer gown, Dad in his tux, Jade sparkling in gold, clutching her award. The caption read, "Family is everything." Couldn't have done this without their endless support. Time-stamped while I was bleeding out on an operating table. Dr. Warner came in, clipboard in hand. "How you feeling, Peyton?" Like I was gutted. My attempt at humor fell flat. "Not far from the truth," he said. "Ruptured cyst, severe internal bleeding. We almost..." He paused, glancing at his notes. "Your heart stopped. For 78 seconds, you were clinically dead." I laughed, a harsh, broken sound. 78 seconds? That's specific. We document everything precisely. He studied me. "Is there someone we can call?" I looked at my phone. Still nothing. 10 hours since I'd called for help. "No," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "There's no one. Rowan came back with pain meds. Your sister called while you were with the doctor. Said she hopes you're feeling better and asked if you could transfer money for the gala's after party." I closed my eyes, morphine spreading through my veins. Did she ask if I was alive? Rowan's silence was answer enough. Those 78 seconds weren't just when my heart stopped. They were when something else died, the part of me that kept giving everything to a family that didn't give a damn. The next morning, still in that hospital bed, I scrolled through social media. My family's perfect life played out in filtered photos from the gala. Mom's caption under a group shot, "So proud of my baby girl. A mother couldn't ask for a more perfect evening." I zoomed in on their faces, searching for any hint of worry about their other daughter, the one who died across town. Nothing but radiant smiles. My phone buzzed. "Jade, oh my God, you won't believe what happened after you went to the hospital. Jordan proposed right there at the gala. It was like a fairy tale." I stared at the ceiling, counting tiles. 1, 2, 3. "Peyton, are you even listening?" "I died last night," I said flatly. "Don't be so dramatic. The doctor said you're fine now, right? Anyway, about the wedding?" My heart stopped for 78 seconds. A pause. Then, "Well, you always did have terrible timing. You know how important last night was for me." I hung up. Rowan checked my vitals, frowning at my racing pulse. "Everything okay?" "Family stuff." I winced, trying to sit up. "When can I leave?" "Doctor wants you another day for observation." She adjusted my pillows. "Your mom called the desk. Asked if you could email some work documents for your dad." Of course she did. My phone lit up with texts. "Mom, need you to look over Dad's quarterly reports. Urgent, Dad. Call me as soon as possible. Bank meeting tomorrow." Jade, "Don't tell Mom, but I maxed the family card on the after party. Can you transfer $5K? I deleted each one." Then Emery walked in, my coworker, and maybe the only person who'd ever shown up for me. She carried a travel mug and my laptop bag. Real coffee, because hospital coffee is a crime. And your laptop, because I know you. For the first time since waking up, I felt tears prick my eyes. Thank you. The office is fine, she said, pulling up a chair. I handled the presentation. Your dad's company will survive without you for a few days. She handed me a folder. Medical proxy paperwork. Thought you might want to make some changes. I stared at her. How did you know? Because I've met your family, Peyton, and I was here last night when they weren't. My phone buzzed. A text from Jordan, Jade's fiancé. Your sister told everyone you had food poisoning. Thought you should know. Emery took my phone gently. Want me to turn this off? Before I could answer, Mom burst in, trailing Chanel number. 5 in disapproval. Peyton, darling, you look awful. Why didn't you tell us it was this serious? She air-kissed near my cheek. We were so worried when we got the messages this morning. This morning? I repeated. Not last night during the 4 hours I was in surgery? Oh, honey, you know how these events are. We couldn't just leave. Jade was receiving an award. I died, Mom. She waved a hand. Don't be melodramatic. You're fine now. And speaking of fine, wait until you see Jade's engagement ring. Jordan did wonderfully, though they'll need help with the down payment on their house. I told them I think Peyton needs rest. Emery cut in, standing. Doctor's orders? Mom blinked, noticing her for the first time. And you are? Someone who was here last night? I said quietly. The room went still. Mom's perfect mask cracked for a second. Well, she huffed, grabbing her purse. I can see you're not in a reasonable mood. Call when you're feeling more yourself, darling. And don't forget those documents for your father. After she left, Emery handed me the medical proxy forms. Ready to make those changes? With each name I removed Mom, Dad, Jade, and replaced with Emery, I felt lighter, like I was cutting away a lifetime of dead weight. 3 days later, Emery helped me settle into my apartment. Every movement hurt, but it was better than another second in that hospital fielding demands. My phone pinged with emails from Dad's accountant, texts from Jade about wedding venue deposits, delete, delete, delete. Emery handed me a stack of papers from my lawyer. Bank account separation forms, power of attorney revocation, trust fund documentation. Each page was another cord cut. Then she showed me something chilling, a hospital document, time-stamped during my surgery, authorizing Jade as my medical proxy with my forged electronic signature. That's impossible, I whispered. I never signed anything. Exactly, Emery said. She submitted it while you were unconscious, used it to cover herself legally in case you didn't make it. The room spun. I grabbed the trash can, heaving. After, I called my lawyer, Margaret. Lock everything down, every account, every document, every tie. And I want a full audit of my trust fund for the past 10 years. Already on it, Margaret said. Then she sent bank statements showing systematic withdrawals from my trust fund during college, thousands siphoned while I worked 3 jobs to survive. My parents had access. They'd been stealing for years. My doorbell rang. Mom's voice carried through. Peyton, I know you're in there. Your father needs those signatures today. We waited in silence until her heels clicked away. That night, I sat on my balcony, city lights twinkling below. A text from Jordan. Just saw what Jade did with the hospital forms. I'm so sorry. For what it's worth, I'm calling off the engagement. Thank you, I wrote back. Then I started writing emails to the hospital, reporting the fraud, to my financial advisor, severing all shared accounts, to HR, updating my emergency contacts. Each one felt like shedding a weight I'd carried forever. 6 months later, I stood in my new apartment overlooking the river, far from my old life. No more ambushes, no more demands, just peace. Emery burst in with a birthday cake and champagne, followed by real friends, not the society connections Mom had forced on me. For the first time, I celebrated without a crisis to fix, a check to write, or an emotional fire to put out. My phone buzzed, an email from Dad. The bank is foreclosing, your mother's hysterical, we need $200,000 by Friday or we lose everything. I know you're going through a phase, but family helps family. Delete. Jade showed up at my door, mascara streaked, pleading, everything's falling apart. Jordan left me. The wedding's canceled. Dad's losing the house. I need my sister. My friends shifted uncomfortably. I sipped my champagne. Should we turn up the music? Someone suggested. Jade's voice grew louder. I know you're in there. Mom's having panic attacks. Dad's talking bankruptcy. You're killing them. No, I said calmly. They did that themselves. After she left, Emery helped me clean up. They're getting desperate, she said, eyeing the dozens of missed calls and texts on my phone. Mom, how could you abandon us? Dad, your mother's health is declining from stress. Jade, If Dad has another heart attack, it's your fault. They're getting consequences, I replied, blocking another number. A year later, I stood in front of my childhood home, foreclosure sign stark against the overgrown lawn. Through my camera lens, I captured the empty windows, the cracked driveway, the end of their lies. Mom stepped out of her Mercedes, still clinging to appearances. Peyton, I knew you'd come back. We can fix this, baby. I'm not back, I said, snapping one last photo. I'm documenting the end. The end? She laughed sharply. We're your family. There is no end. There was. 78 seconds of it while you posed for photos. Jade joined her, no longer the golden child. Of course you'd show up to gloat. Happy now? We're ruined. No, I said. You're just finally living in reality. That night, my gallery exhibition opened, titled 78 Seconds. It told my story, the hospital room where I died, the empty chairs where family should have been, the foreclosure sign, and the final shot, Mom and Jade, desperate, in front of their lost kingdom. The plaque read, sometimes karma isn't revenge, it's just stepping away and letting people face their own consequences. They showed up, slinking through the crowd, seeing themselves exposed on every wall. I raised my glass to them as they stared at the hospital photos, the proof of their absence. They left quickly, their power gone. Emery clinked her glass against mine. To 78 seconds. No, I smiled, watching them retreat. To everything that came after. As I watched their car disappear, my heart beat steadily, marking the rhythm of a life where family is chosen, love is earned, and silence speaks louder than manipulation ever could. I was finally truly free.